The 2020 season saw a shortened schedule due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with just 14 events completed after starting in late June. The new year saw a jam-packed schedule, with over 20 weeks of racing slated for some of the best racing in the country. Many say you'll never see tougher competition than the SK Modifieds at Stafford. Over 20 cars competing each week, and over half of them with a shot of winning. The season looked to be wide open, with many contenders fighting for one of the toughest championships to earn in New England. Keith Rocco came into the year the defending champion, earning his 4th title at Stafford and 18th NASCAR Division I track championship, a new record. Kid Rock had a sensational 3.3 average finish last year, but it was going to be hard to duplicate that performance for a second straight season. It was a beautiful spring Saturday afternoon as the SK Modifieds were first on track for Napa opening day, and it didn't take long for the defending SK champion to find trouble in the heat race.
Oh, contact is made. Mikey Flynn went to dip to the bottom in a turn that literally Keith Rocco owns here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Rocco had a lot of work to do before lining up for the feature, and as driver introductions commenced, Rocco emerged out of the Turn 3 opening to join the field for the first race of the year. On the pin for the feature was a 6-year veteran of the SKs. North Haven, Connecticut's Tyler Hines has been seeking success in Stafford's premier division. Hines was able to team up with Tick Mike, who created a brand new team, Petty Cash Motorsports, donning a black and largely blank 85 car. The SK 3-wide salute signified the start of a new year and hopefully a return to normalcy. The first half of the race had Hines leading from the start. A couple minor incidents created a few quick yellows, before a major incident in Turn 2 led to rookie Jonathan Pulio taking a wild ride. Pulio did climb out of the car, but was in a lot of pain, and the SK Light graduate would miss the next race as a result, but returned 2 weeks later. It didn't take long soon after for a multi-car parking lot to form at the top of Turn 3. In the midst of all the action, Hines still held the lead, but the rash of yellow fever made his bid for a maiden victory a challenge. Not only did he have to hold off Ronnie Williams, he also had to hold off Keith Rocco, who charged from the back of the field up to the top 3.
Tyler Hines has led from green to checker. Off turn number 4, Tyler Hines will take down the win.
Mission accomplished for young Tyler Hines. After 6 years of struggles, he led every lap of the season opener to become an SK Modified winner at Stafford. Week 2 of the season brought a new milestone for the SK Modifieds, marking the division's 700th race since the inception of the SKs in 1982. Newtown, Connecticut's Stephen Kopchick showed potential for a breakout year after 3 victories in the previous 2 seasons. Kopchick took the lead early, but Marcello Refrano took the reins shortly after, still looking for his first SK win. But Refrano's teammate and defending champion Rocco found the wall, tearing the right front off the 88 machine. The restart saw a tangle between a few of the top SK contenders.
Oh, trouble now. Into the wall hard. Looks like the 22 of Chase Dowling. Moeller's number 35 machine.
Refrano would surrender the lead to Kopchick, and the 21 never looked back, earning his first win of the year, the fastest first win of the year he's earned by far. The Christopher name has been cemented in Stafford's history since the mid-1980s. First there was the twin brothers, Mike and Ted. Now, second-generation star Michael Christopher Jr. enters his 7th season in Stafford's premier division. He's coming off a disappointing first 2 races, going back to the drawing board and going back to the basics. Christopher started the 3rd SK race of the year in 4th. 1 lap later, he was in the lead when a multi-car jam session involved a quarter of the field in Turn 2. After that, it was all Christopher, but he had to hold off Rocco in the final laps to get the victory.
Rocco can reel him in. The clock is ticking. Michael Christopher has done it. He'll win the SK Modifieds here tonight.
First couple weeks of the season, we were struggling. Pretty much just went back to basics. That's kind of the rule of thumb here in racing, and hit my line, and I felt something coming apart in the rear, but it kept getting worse. But you know what? At that point, you're not pulling off, so it's either it breaks or you win, and here we are.
Berlin, Connecticut's Keith Rocco had a roller coaster start to 2021. The defending champion earned 2 second-place finishes and an 18th after a big impact with the wall. But the driver who's known for early success was looking for that first win in Week 4. Rocco and Kopchick shared the 7th row at the start of the feature, and both methodically worked their way to the front of the field, not before Matt Vassar and Kopchick made contact, leading to a huge shunt for Vassar in Turn 2. The final third of the race came down to a classic between car 21 and car 88.
Stephen Kopchick to the outside of Keith Rocco. The patented turn number 3. Will it be a spoiler or a dealer?
Rocco trying to pull away, unable to do it. Kopchick is right there. Owen is right there. As they enter turn 4.
Checkered flag is out. Keith Rocco and a squeaker over Stephen Kopchick.
It's the 4th straight year that Rocco has won a race within the first month of the season. One of the drivers considered a threat for the championship entering the year was Chase Dowling. After winning 2 races in 2020, the Roxbury native struggled early on in 2021. The handicap system gave Dowling the benefit of a better starting position in Week 5, and he wasted no time taking advantage of it, taking the lead early. The race was broken up by several multi-car incidents involving top drivers like Todd Owen, Keith Rocco, and Tyler Hines. Just past halfway, it was Marcello Ruffano pulling off arguably one of the best moves of the entire year.
Ruffano isn't happy to settle for second, 3 wide. They come off the turn, back to the stripe. Jervis is the leader. Marcello Ruffano is second, and Dowling is still digging in on the bottom.
And they are still 3 wide as they head down into turn 3. Trying to break away Marcello Ruffano.
Here
he
comes
has the
Dowling.
lead, but Dowling gets it back.
Dowling comes off the turn. He has a little bit less giddy up, but a lot of determination.
Dowling would take the lead back a few laps later, though, and lead the field to the checker flag, taking home his first win of 2021. Parity became a theme after a month of racing in the SKs. 5 different drivers won the first 5 races. One of the drivers still looking for a victory was 2-time champion Ronnie Williams. Despite his struggles, there's no writing off that 50 team. It didn't take long for the 6th race of the year to find calamity, as several cars piled up on the first lap, including Jonathan Pulio riding on Dan Wesson's car for the 2nd time this year, ripping Wesson's car up like a can opener. Williams started in the 8th spot, but it didn't take long for him to find the front. Williams was on his way to victory, but a late caution set up the 50 car in a duel with Stephen Kopchick.
Ronnie Williams leading by a fingernail.
Less than that.
By a snowflake as they head the line. The margin is 0.055, 55 one-thousandths of a second.
Williams was able to hold on, and the Ellington native scored his first victory of 2021, making it 6 different winners in the first 6 races. Any given feature, at least 10 cars have a shot to win an SK modified race, and 2021 brought one of the most competitive starts to the SKs in over a decade. But would there be a 7th different winner in 7 races? Just like the previous week, trouble didn't take long to rear its ugly head, once again involving Todd Owen on lap 1. The battle for the lead at halfway was between Andrew Moeller, Tyler Hines, and Keith Rocco. Rocco and Hines had won the best battles all year long, staying side by side for almost 10 laps. Rocco eventually took the lead, but another caution came out with 8 laps to go, setting up an impressive restart by Hines.
As they come off turn number 4, back to the line, timing and scoring says Tyler Hines. This time is the leader.
By about a tire, and it's Hines out front. Great momentum off of turn number 2 for Tyler Hines. Goes back to the front of the field.
Back in the winner's circle for the 2nd time. Tyler Hines has done it.
After 7 weeks, the SK Modified saw its first repeat winner of the year in Tyler Hines. With SRX making its series debut at Stafford the next day, the Root family decided to introduce a new concept to the SK Modifieds. The top 15 drivers in points, plus any past SK Modified champion, were allowed to compete in the inaugural Tick Mike SK Modified All-Star Showdown. 3 segments, 50 laps, with a $46,000 purse. 3 former champions ended up participating. 3-time champions Michael Christopher Sr. and Bo Gunning, as well as 2-time champion Jerry Pearl. A sold-out crowd and a hyped atmosphere was ready for what was sure to be a night to remember. Andrew Moeller took the lead early and led the field to the end of the first 20-lap segment, pocketing $1,000, and deciding to start segment 2 back in 15th for a chance at a bigger bonus if he won the event. The rest of the top 10 was inverted, giving Mike Sr. the lead at the start of segment 2, but it was his son making a charge to the front, and before you know it, the father-son duo were battling for the lead.
Let the fun begin. The Christophers. Father versus son off turn number 4. It's not an illusion. Mike Christopher Sr. leads his son.
Mike Christopher Jr. to the inside of Dad to take the top spot off of turn number 4.
Bo Gunning would find trouble during the 2nd segment, as Michael Christopher Jr. took home $1,000 of his own, winning segment 2. The top 5 were inverted for the final 10-lap segment with a $4,000 winning prize on the line. The front row was Todd Owen and Mike Sr., and the start of the final segment was a near disaster.
Oh, trouble, turn 1. A couple of cars get together.
What a
but
scramble.
everybody's okay, and I'm
They
not
are.
sure how.
Mike Jr. came out of the fracas in front and held off Tyler Hines to win the inaugural All-Star Showdown, winning a total of $5,000. Mike Sr. scored a 5th place finish, winning $2,000 himself, putting both Christophers in the top 5 and creating a memory that the Christopher family will never forget. One of the rising stars in the SK Modifieds found himself seemingly at an impasse. Colchester's Brian Narducci had been driving for Bears number 14 in the first few months of the year. But after not meeting expectations, Narducci was let go, leaving the sophomore without a ride. A few days before the next race, Narducci struck a deal with Keith Rocco to drive one of his rental cars, going from their white car with pink numbers to a black car with the green 83. Narducci started the 8th race of the year in the top 5, but it only took him less than 10 laps to fight for the top spot.
Here's Brian Narducci to the inside of the racetrack.
They come
Little bit
together.
of contact as Meserve slides up the hill off turn 4. New leader Brian Narducci, rideless 48 hours ago.
And in his first time driving the Rocco rental, Narducci surprised Stafford, dominating the race and taking his first career SK Modified win, marking 2 first-time winners in the SKs this year and 7 different winners in the first 8 races. Next up is the Premier Division's big money race, 100 laps and a $5,000 winning prize on the line. It's the 8th annual Napa Auto Parts SK 5K. Marcello Ruffano, Tyler Leary, and Todd Owen led the first half of the race, but it was Mike Christopher Jr. showing that tire conservation isn't as critical as people may think. Christopher was on his way to victory with the first 90 laps going caution-free, but one of the night's leaders ran into trouble as Leary spun out after mechanical issues. A new contender joined the fray on the restart. Stephen Kopchick found a second life and had the pass made on Mike Jr. until Jonathan Pulio snapped the panhard bar, causing another yellow. If Christopher was going to win his first 5K, he had to hold off Kopchick to do it.
Christopher
Kopchick
guards
make a
the
run.
inside lane. Off the turn. Here comes Dowling. Checkered flag is out. Michael Christopher has done it. Stephen Kopchick in for second.
The All-Star win and the 5K victory gave Mike Jr. the nickname Big Money Mike as his summer reign of terror continued. The story following the 5K was an altercation in the pits involving contenders Keith Rocco, Ronnie Williams, and Brian Narducci. The 3 drivers wound up being suspended for the next SK race, ending any and all championship hopes for the 3 competitors. Race 10 saw Mike Jr. once again being the guy to beat. He started the feature back in 11th spot and carved through the field quickly, but he had to hold off Todd Owen in the final laps to make it 3 SK wins in the last 4 events.
Todd Owen reels him in. Right there. Now Todd Owen goes to the inside. Off the turn. Michael Christopher takes down the win. Todd Owen to finish in second.
The summer stretch was a stretch to remember for young Michael Christopher Jr. Despite the 82 winning during the summer, Stephen Kopchick remained persistent. After a rough season opener, the 21 car never finished outside the top 6 heading into the final few Fridays of July. Poised to park in victory lane once again, Kopchick felt he had the car to beat. The 21 started the July 23rd feature in 8th, but quickly worked his way to the front. In a 40-lap feature that went green to checker, Kopchick would score the victory, his second of 2021, tying a career high for most wins in the season. With the season past halfway, 4 drivers seem to have a realistic shot at the title. The most recent winner, Stephen Kopchick, 2-time winner Tyler Hines, the red-hot Mike Christopher Jr., and tenacious Todd Owen, who was still looking for his first win of the year. Many knew it was not a matter of if, but when the summer's native would find victory lane. The final race of July saw Stephen Kopchick run the trouble early in the feature, along with about 5 others. Tyler Hines took the lead after a battle with Andrew Moeller and Doug Meserve Jr. Kopchick was stuck in traffic, eventually making it to second place, but his bid for 2 in a row was fading as Hines pulled away. But an incident on the front stretch bunched the field up, setting up a 4-lap sprint between Hines and Kopchick. But it took less than a lap for the race and the title picture to take a dramatic turn.
Dowling up on the wheel.
Oh, trouble!
Oh,
Straight
trouble.
away, they get together at the point, and it's going to be Hines going around to the infield. Others become collected further back. Jonathan Pulio, Teddy Hodgson.
He could be done for the night, and looks like we're going to have the 21 car. Looks like the crew's trying to work on it. A little bit of confrontation down here on pit road.
Well, it looks like cooler heads will prevail before Tyler gets there. But that's about as upset as I have ever seen Tyler.
The tempers were boiling in the pit, but on the track, Todd Owen was calm, cool, and collected.
Here comes Christopher, changes his strategy, changes his lane. Todd Owen back in command, 2 to go. The Cookers construction machine is cooking tonight. The Chassis Pro car will see the double checkers, and Todd Owen will take down the impressive victory.
It was the first win of the season for Owen, but it didn't take long for him to back it up. August arrived, and the month started the same way July ended. Owen started the feature in 15th spot, but made his way through the field fast, having to go one-on-one with Michael Jarvis Jr., who was looking for his first SK win in 6 years.
To the inside, Todd Owen, Michael Jarvis, side by side off turn number 4. Owen steps on the gas. To the stripe they come. Evenly matched, but Jarvis is the leader by inches. Off the turn, here comes Todd Owen. In command, 39 will show at the line. Todd Owen with back-to-back victories here at Stafford. He will take down the win.
Owen gave credit to Jarvis for the respectful, clean racing, as the 81 team was getting hot with just a few months left in the season. Owen was looking to join a small list of drivers in the past decade to win 3 straight SK Modified features, and he looked to do it by winning the 50-lap Senators Cup. Owen's bid for 3 in a row hit a literal roadblock on lap 1, as a massive domino effect saw him fall behind the pack. But an early caution caught Owen back up, and his trek through the field began. Keith Rocco, who only had 1 win and a roller coaster year to this point, found his way to the front, passing Teddy Hodgson. But Rocco had to deal with Owen late in the race, after point contender Tyler Hines lost an engine while running second, ending the 85 team's night and severely hampering their championship hopes. The last few years have seen some great battles between Rocco and Owen, 2 veterans who have massive respect for each other, and they put on a show for the Stafford fans at the end of the Senators Cup.
Todd Owen squeaks down underneath Keith Rocco. Rocco comes back. The crossover. White flag is out, Kyle, as they come back to the line.
Side by side for the race win here into the final lap. Owen looking for 3 in a row. Rocco looking for his 2nd of the season. Here comes Kopchick. Here comes Moeller, as they are still side by side up to that straightaway for the final time in the Senators Cup.
Here they are, bottom of turn number 4. Keith Rocco on the inside. The fans are standing in the seats. It is Keith Rocco to take down the win.
Rocco may be out of the title hunt, but he made it clear that he's more about the wins, and this was a big bounce-back victory after an up-and-down year. Keith Rocco is known for being one of, if not the best SK Modified driver in the present day. He also makes a name for himself in recent years, helping out other SK and SK Light teams. One of those teams is the 35, driven by Andrew Moeller. Moeller and Rocco's partnership started in 2020, and Moeller has been seeking his first win since he shocked the field in 2019, winning in just his 5th career SK Modified start. Moeller would start the 15th race of the year in 9th spot, and after an early yellow, the black and yellow 35 found itself at the front of the field. His closest competitor, Noah Corner, got held up during the race by Tyler Hines, who suffered another mechanical failure, again running second. Hines would not finish the feature, ending his hopes for a championship. With the final 30 laps going caution-free, Moeller was home free, winning the race in commanding fashion, finally ending the over 2-year-long SK Modified winless streak. Todd Owen had the point lead, but Stephen Kopchick was not far behind and looking to set a new career high with 3 wins on the year. The final feature of August saw Kopchick start 8th, but he would work his way through the field and have a battle with Marcello Ruffano for the lead. But the lead proved hard to hold for Ruffano despite a valiant fight as Kopchick took over the race. Not even the late restart could shake off the 21 as he set that new career high with 3 wins on the season, but with Todd Owen finishing 3rd, Kopchick only put a small dent into Owen's point lead. The final full month of the racing season meant no margin for error. If you believed in momentum, now was the time to have it, and Kopchick had the momentum entering the month of September. Kopchick and Owen started the feature 1 position apart outside the top 10. Doug Meservey Jr. was leading the field early until a flat tire put an unfortunate end to a promising night for the 67 team. Owen was charging through the field, but Kopchick was right on his tail. There was another restart after an incident between Jeff Nooney and Christopher Vians, and Kopchick capitalized on the restart from the inside lane.
Here's Kopchick. What a move.
What a run, and they both go up the racetrack in turn 3. They both save it. Owen goes back to the bottom and passes them both.
Some may say Kopchick was fortunate to still have a car after that near disaster, but now he had to find a way past Owen and take the lead to tighten the point gap.
Timing and scoring shows that Kopchick won that battle. Lap number 33, but Owen isn't about to give up. Owen continues to work his magic in the outside. Stephen Kopchick guards the bottom of the racetrack. Kopchick has the biggest lead he's had all night long. Here comes Owen up on the outside. Stephen Kopchick on the inside. They come off turn number 4. Stephen Kopchick has done it. Todd Owen in an amazing run to finish in second.
Kopchick had all the momentum and had his chance to join the list of drivers to make it 3 straight SK wins the next week. The 2 title contenders showed that they were at their best when it mattered most. Not only was Kopchick going for 3 in a row, but 13 drivers were looking to qualify for the 4th annual TC13 Shootout, a 13-lap sprint after the 40-lap feature made in honor of the late, great Ted Christopher on a night where Stafford honored all the first responders. Owen was stuck on the bottom early on though, allowing Kopchick to zip on by. The 81 had a slightly harder time trying to follow Kopchick through traffic, as the 21 found itself in front after multiple restarts, passing Doug Meservey Jr. Owen was able to eventually navigate his way to 4th place, but Stephen Kopchick made history, becoming just the 5th different driver in the last decade to win 3 SK modified features in a row, giving him 5 wins in a breakout season for the Newtown native. The top 13 drivers from the 40-lap feature were prepared to compete in the TC13 Shootout. The top 10 finishers from the 40-lap feature were inverted, giving Marcello Ruffano and Troy Talman the front row. But the first lap of the shootout was not pretty.
Green is out, we're underway, they get together just past the start-finish line. Talman out of shape in turn 1.
Talman gathers it back ever so slightly. Trouble now. One car literally spins at the back of the field. It goes around like a top.
Both Kopchick and Mike Christopher Jr. didn't make it past turn 2 before their bid for the TC13 came to an end. It took 4 attempts to make it past the first lap after a few more lap 1 troubles. And it was David Arute that found himself at the front of the field. Arute has seen steady improvements since joining the SKs in 2018, including scoring his first podium earlier in the year. Arute had a sizable lead over Todd Owen, but contact between Corey DiMatteo and Keith Rocco set up another sprint to the finish.
TC, Ted Christopher, 13-lap event. The big winner is David Arute here tonight at Stafford.
It was the first time David Arute found victory lane at Stafford since his last SK Light win back in 2017. Race 19 was the penultimate race of the year. Stephen Kopchick, with the aid of the drop your worst race rule, was only 2 points behind Todd Owen, looking for his 4th straight win. If Kopchick can finish just 1 spot ahead of Owen in this race, the 2 SK stars would enter the season finale tied for the point lead. Both drivers slowly made their way through traffic, while Keith Rocco got past Jonathan Pulio to take the lead. The 88 was looking for a 3rd win this year, but a late caution with 3 to go set up what was sure to be another SK Classic.
Here comes Owen. Owen now dives down underneath Keith Rocco. We said it was going to be a barn burner, and the flames are mountain high. Off turn number 4, Todd Owen takes over the lead, 1 lap to go.
And Steve Kopchick is down low, so Rocco can't get underneath to the inside groove. Owen trying to run away from Kopchick. Kopchick, 3-race winning streak, trying to corral the 81 car as they head into turn 3.
Off the turn, Todd Owen. Caution flag is out.
The caution gave Rocco another chance at Owen, with Kopchick, who didn't have the best car, still lurking in 3rd.
Rocco might be in position for the bottom shot going into turn 3. Here comes Rocco.
Rocco slams it into the bottom. Here comes Kopchick. Kopchick moves to the bottom. The Timex finally move of the event. Stephen Kopchick has done it here at Stafford.
There were words exchanged between the Rocco and Owen camps after the last lap fireworks, but Stephen Kopchick pulled in the victory lane, celebrating his 4th consecutive win. But the celebration would end the next day. Post-race tech revealed that Stephen Kopchick, as well as Jonathan Pulio, who finished 3rd, had illegal shocks in the car. The 2 drivers were disqualified, and Todd Owen was rewarded his 3rd win of the year. And with Kopchick losing all his points from that race, he was mathematically eliminated from title contention, and thus Todd Owen, 1 week early, was declared 2021 SK Modified Champion. The Summers native finally won the title that has eluded him for so many years. Maybe not the way he expected nor wanted to win it, but the history books will remember Todd Owen as an SK Modified Champion. The end of 2021 was here. Todd Owen wanted to end the year by sending a message and winning the finale. Stephen Kopchick wanted to show that he was still fast despite the disqualification. But both drivers didn't have a chance to show themselves in the feature.
Moving up, Keith Rocco.
Oh, Sparks! Trouble down the front straightaway. Todd Owen.
And a car went airborne.
Kopchick would not finish the race, while Owen wanted to fix the car as much as possible so he could go out and run a few more laps and pass the cars that were involved in the big wreck, including Kopchick. Owen did so, moving up to 24th spot while Kopchick was 26th. Then the 81 car pulled up behind the wall, ending his night. Up front, Matt Vassar was leading, driving the Rocco Rental 83 after Vassar separated from the 11 Hummel Hot Dogs team. Although Vassar pulled away early, SK sophomore Teddy Hodgson reeled him in. The 55 caught up to Vassar with just 2 laps to go as both drivers seek their first career SK Modified win.
2 laps to go.
And the gap is 1/10 of a second. Here comes Hodgson going for the lead. Down low, new leader, Ted Hodgson. Can Vassar retaliate?
He dives to the inside. Vassar moves to the bottom.
Around goes Hodgson.
And Vassar continues on his way. Caution flag is out.
After Hodgson's spin and Vassar being black flagged, 2 other drivers were looking for their first SK points win, rookie Noah Corner and David Arute. Corner was the leader and nailed the restart, but a wreck that saw Corey DiMatteo take a wild ride in the Hummel 11 car forced another restart. And you want to talk about ending the 2021 season with a bang.
As they rampage their way into the second corner. Corner halfway underneath Arute. Arute pulls away. Mike Christopher is coming down strong. Corner making a move on the inside.
Corner makes a bid down low. David Arute on the outside. To the stripe they come in one of the closest finishes of the year. Unofficially, David Arute will take down the win.
Arute, driving a chassis pro car built by Todd Owen, got to celebrate the win, while Todd Owen himself had the chance to finally celebrate his first Stafford title.
It's just incredible. I don't even know what to say. It's like I've dreamed about this for, like you said, probably 30 years to be, especially at Stafford Speedway with the Arutes and Napa and everybody else that makes this place so special that I wish I could take it in for the whole evening, like just be out here the whole night. But, awesome to see Chassis Pro with Derek Devis. I mean, you talk about cars that weren't even around 7 years ago, and we just won 2 championships in the SK race. It's unbelievable.
The 2021 season was a highly competitive one for Stafford's premier division. 10 different drivers scored a victory. Tyler Hines, Brian Narducci, and David Arute were first-time winners. Kopchick led the division with 5 wins on the year, while Owen led the SKs with 15 top 5s and 18 top 10s. 19 different drivers scored a top 5 finish. Noah Corner was named Rookie of the Year after finishing the season 10th in points and scoring 2 runner-up finishes. But in the end, it was Todd Owen, after 19 full seasons in the SK Modifieds, finally cementing himself as an SK Modified champion and looking to back it up with another one come 2022 as the SK Modifieds are poised for another exciting year ahead.